Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this week on The Walking Dead directly picked up after that big Bob WTF moment and looked pretty much like it was ripped right off the comic book page. If you haven't read the comics, the last two episodes were pretty much right out of Volume 11, Fear the Hunters. You should be able to buy that on Comixology at a big discount if you want to go back and see how it all went down. There were a few minor changes that I'll explain. Also, new round of the giveaway starts right now, so all you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. So careful if you're not caught up on Walking Dead, starting with top 5 moments. Number 5, tainted meat. So this was the conclusion of the big comic book scene from last week, Bob waking up realizing the hunters had eaten his leg. In the comic it was Dale, but everything else on the show pretty much went down like it did in the comics. He starts laughing hysterically and says, "You idiots, I've been bitten." They all spit out the barbecue and dump him on the lawn just to freak everyone in the church out. They did say that they were going to be doing a lot more comic book moments this year, so be on the lookout for other big like WTF things if you have been reading the comics. Number 4, Gabriel explains his backstory. Also went down pretty much the way it went down in the comics. He shut his congregation out when the apocalypse hit and was too scared to let them in whenever the walkers came. He had to listen to them all be ripped apart, even the little children, so he went a little nuts. Things were getting pretty crazy inside the group. I mean, obviously Gabriel was the source of the tension previously, but now you have Sasha and Abraham. Generally, they kind of cooled down though. It seemed like everyone pretty much cooled off. And they're not jamming a gun down Gabriel's throat anymore. Not that he's like their best friend yet. I did like his reaction to what they did to the hunters later in the episode. This is a church. I'd be interested to see if being with the group starts to socialize him a little bit more and he starts to regain some of his humanity. I don't think he'll ever find redemption. I mean, it just doesn't seem like it's part of his character that he's going to forgive himself. But it is possible he could martyr himself in some biblical way if the opportunity ever presented itself. Again, since he's a comic book character, it's possible that they could just play that character out the way he is in the comics. Number 3, Abraham versus Rick. They started to tease some tension with Abraham in the last episode, with him wanting to take off for DC and the group not wanting to split up. They did reach a compromise, but the interesting thing is that bus that they took off in the trailer is seen like flipping through the air, so clearly something crazy is going to be happening. And since next week looks like a Beth episode, we might have to wait 2 weeks to find out what's going on with that group. Just like last year though, it seems like they're splitting storylines off. It'll just give us an opportunity to see more places. Here's a good look at the map that Abraham gave him. That's essentially the route to Washington, D.C. Because the whole reason for them splitting up was waiting for Daryl and Carol, and Daryl's back now, I think we're going to find out where they're going next. Obviously, it's probably going to have something to do with Carol and Beth. We didn't see who was behind Daryl at the end of the episode, but I'm guessing that it was not Carol. Otherwise, she would have just come right out. Like they wouldn't have made us wait to find out. Number 2, hunting the hunters. This was also a continuation of the Fear the Hunter storyline from the comics. Rick and the survivors trap the hunters using the church. They turn themselves into bait, so Chris, the leader of the hunters, walks in. Obviously, on the show, it's Gareth. So the comic story goes in a slightly different direction, essentially ends the same way though. In the comics, it was the next morning before they did away with Chris. On the show, obviously, Rick keeps his promise and slices the hell out of him. Definitely one of the best crazy Rick moments, like when he gets crazy scary. You can kind of tell that the rest of the group is looking at him a little bit differently after this, even though he tries to justify it. You saw what they were capable of. Essentially, he's becoming darker and darker. I think Judith is obviously his counterbalance, and they had that nice moment with Bob at the end, so it does seem like Rick is hopeful. And there was a message on the map too. The new world's gonna need Rick Grimes. So I think there was a hopeful spin on his character. There have always been a lot of comparisons between Rick and the governor. Like, they're very similar people. The governor just took it a little too far. And my number 1 WTF moment, Bob is dead. He was a marked man the minute he got bit and didn't tell anyone. They might have been able to save him if they'd have treated him right away. There's really no official timeline as to how long it takes for someone who's bitten to turn, but if it's been more than 12 hours, you're pretty much guaranteed dead. I know a lot of people were curious about the tainted meat, if the hunters would have turned if they ate the meat. Technically, no. I mean, he would have had to have been a decayed person. Like, you'd have to eat one of those waterlogged walkers in order to turn. Him dying was a comic book scene, but obviously they had to change a lot of things because they don't have Andrea anymore. In the comics, Andrea is the one that killed Dale. Dale obviously being the Bob character. In that version, she shoots him in the head after they declare their love for each other and he dies. On the show, Sasha had her knife, but Tyrese took it, and he killed Bob for her. I think just as her big brother, he was just trying to preserve some of her innocence. Like, he didn't want her to go to that place. Like, she's still a relatively innocent person. Not quite as innocent as Beth, although that might change for her soon. But she hasn't gone to that crazy place that Tyrese has been to that he's trying to stay away from, like not killing people. It was a totally bummer moment, and we're totally gonna miss Bob, but I think they give his character a really good send-off. Everyone got to say their goodbyes, even some of them had their own scenes with him, like Rick and Sasha. Most characters don't get that, but I do really like when Walking Dead kills one of the main characters off, they do it in a really memorable way, either really epic or really poignant, like with Bob. They will take care of you. They might kill you off, but they will take care of you. Andrew J. West, the guy that plays Gareth, actually revealed that Scott Gimple, when he called him to come on season 5, he said, "Full disclosure, we're going to kill you in episode 3. I just think it's funny that from behind the scenes standpoint, actors typically know what's going to go on if they're going to be dying really soon. Like, full disclosure, you can say no if you want. We're going to kill you at this moment. I don't think that anyone would say no to coming on Walking Dead, even if they knew they were going to die really soon. There was a little bit of confusion because people had been reporting that Andrew J. West had been up to series regular, and series regulars usually appear in most, if not all, the episodes, so that might have just been inaccurate. Either way, next week, totally a Beth episode. We're obviously going to find out who's with Daryl too. He'll probably explain what went on with him and Carol on their side trip. If anyone's had the chance to play it, there's actually a video game that might reveal a little bit about what's going on with the Noah character as well as Beth. It's called The Walking Dead Survival Instinct. It's set in the world of the TV universe, like it's not like the Walking Dead Telltale game. It might not necessarily be what happens on the show. But in the game, Daryl goes to Cleburne Memorial Hospital. We know Beth on the show is going to be at a hospital, but the game description, just in the wiki reads, when the outbreak began, government research crew took residence at Cleburne Memorial Hospital. They had military protection that kept it operational. Daryl arrives looking for antibiotics for Merle, finds Noah, who was treated for a gunshot wound, later finds Doctor searching for cure, experimenting on Noah as a test subject, and Daryl has to choose whether or not to save Noah. So Beth could be like the Noah character in the game, but that still leaves the question about what's going on with Carol. And we haven't seen the Noah character on the show yet, the Tyler James Williams character. So lots of big questions. Hopefully most of those will get answered next week, but it's basically going to be just like the Governor episode during season 4, where it'll be all about Beth. It'll like rewind in time to the time when she was taken. There have been leaked images from the Beth episode, so if you watched that clip or you saw those images, just please use spoiler tags if you're going to comment on them below, because most people probably haven't seen them. Let me know though, what was your favorite moment from the episode, and what do you think happened to Daryl and Carol when they went to find Beth? Overall, I gave the episode a solid B+. It was a solid adaptation of a comic book moment, or several comic book moments. They gave nice send-offs to both Gareth and Bob. I really like the way they did their endings. Obviously, Gareth had to die in a really violent way. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. The Bob character in general just had a really great arc on the show. I mean, he was essentially a bit of a douchebag during season 4, recovering alcoholic who just kept getting into trouble because of his addiction. Then in the second half of the season, he turned his life around and fell in love with Sasha. Obviously that didn't work out. Even though he kind of got himself in trouble in this episode again, like he got himself captured, he is at his core a good person. You will be missed, Bob. We will miss you. Especially Sasha, who's probably going to get really dark now. There is no way she's just going to let go of that anger. Tyrese is like the voice of reason in the episode. I was a little disappointed in Sasha when she demanded that Tyrese stay with him rather than she do it. There's a lot of people hypothesizing that she might turn into comic book Andrea. You can let me know whether or not you agree with that, but I do think that Sasha is going to toughen up a little bit. Like she's going to go slightly in a Carol direction. You can't replace Carol, like she's not going to be Carol, but she will just get a little bit harder. That's also the big teaser for Beth too. This is going to be like the season where she toughens up. Evolve or die. Overall, I really love the direction the show's gone this season. It's just been a nice twist. I mean, I really enjoyed the second half of season 4. Obviously, the first half of season 4, not quite as exciting, but we did have the mid-season WTF. There have been so many other rumors about which characters might die this season, though. I think it's a little early to speculate, but I do think that somebody else is going to die during the mid-season finale. So I will be posting a Q&A video for this tomorrow, so be sure to subscribe to get it. Leave all your questions, and if you have read the comics, just remember to use spoiler tags if you've read ahead. Lots of other big stuff going on too. Marvel has like a big announcement they're doing on Tuesday, so I'll try to get some bonus videos out for that too. Right now you can actually click here to get that Q&A video. I'll add the annotation as soon as I post it tomorrow. And you can click here for my episode 2 Bob BQ video. Thank you so much for watching. So let's all high five and say one more goodbye to Bob.